All right, let's start with the nation. Panic in Abuja over attack on soldiers by terrorists. Varsity strike, 3-day industrial action begins after nationwide protest, says Labour. Train attack, families march on transportation ministry. No North governor took money to back South president, Tinubu presidential project for launch August 13th. 25-year-old Amusom wins gold for Nigeria. And Ondo to sack 2,000 for fraud. Okay, let's start with the major headline.
Sad news, yes. Yesterday, of course, terrorists attacked the Federal Capital Territory and supposedly the gas brigade of the FCT. These are supposed to be, the soldiers attached to the presidency. But the area in question where this is very highlighting is the Buhari area. That's where the law school is housed and several other sub-ministries and MDGs in Abuja. It is in the outskirts. You travel out past Kubwa to Buhari. That's why I had law school. And this attack yesterday spurred a lot of panic. The Minister for Education called immediately to the unity schools to beef up security, partner with the security agencies around them. And he also compelled that school must close immediately. So parents panicked. They went into Abuja trying to get their children. Of course, the military said they did all that they could, and they repelled them. I'm trying to get the name of the spokesperson that said that, of the 7 Guards Battalion, who said they did all that they could, that this attack was along the Kubwa-Buhari road, and, they ambushed the suspected terrorists. They repelled them. That's according to the Army Public Relations Officer, Captain Godfrey Abakba. It's confirmed that the soldiers were attacked and that they are recuperating, that they're receiving treatment presently. Just reading the stories and considering what we talked about yesterday's hot topic, it seems like we're more worried than the people who have the capacity to do something about it.
That story in Nation?
Yes, I want to take the story of, the title of the story is Tinubu 2023 Presidential Project Launch will take place August 13. So the event is going to take place in Anambra State. There will be an election in Anambra on the 6th of November. Senator Andy Uba is going to, is a gubernatorial candidate. But he's also going to be the one flagging off the project. So the project is supposed to show that there is a lot of social media campaign projecting that the Southeast is not in support of the presidential aspirations of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And the spokesperson, this team contains the governor of Ebonyi State, governor of Imo State, that's both Governor David Umahi and Hope Uzodinma, the chief whip, Ojuso Uzo Kalu, Ebonyi State House of Assembly. All these APC bigwigs will be there to flag off the project to launch Southeast for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and this event is stated to take place on the 13th of August 2022. So, see how that goes.
Yes, I have a story. So, in Ondo State, the governor last week has ordered the head of service to sack officers found to be receiving, for different infractions, about 2,000 civil servants are going to be sacked based on these infractions. He said he had received a report of the Committee on Verification, Scrutinization and Cleanup of Ondo State Payroll, and they found 2,000 workers involved in what they call enhanced salary steps. 76 workers were discovered to be collecting salaries and pensions that they were not meant to collect, or above or double of that. And then they had 19 who were ghost workers that were uncovered. They had a further 16 workers on leave without approval, 29 retired civil servants that were still collecting full salaries while also collecting pension. They had a person who had celebrated his 50th birthday since 2010, but still in service and claiming to have only 3 years left. So the governor is saying that those people have been given a letter, but they will be given an opportunity to defend themselves before giving a final sack. I think we should do this scrutinization often. They should be sacked immediately. All right.
And tried.
So, still on these clerics that showed up at the unveiling of Shatima and Asiwaju's event, they have come out to say, to show proof that they are indeed ordained clerics of and founding members of their various ministries. And they also said they were not representing CAN at that event. And the reason why they showed up at that event was because of the work Shatima had done in the Northeast, according to addressing reporters in Abuja Bishop Adams, was saying that the clerics attended the event never portrayed themselves as CAN members, and they identified with Shettima because of the work he's done in Borno, where he handled management of social relations, including protection of rights of all, regardless of religion, while he held forth as governor. So that was why they were in support of his nomination. Okay, moving on now to the Punch. As to strike, NLC solidarity rally holds today. Police warn hoodlums. Terrorists free 3 Kaduna train passengers. Protest continues. Hypertensive man, Nigerians outraged. Police go after Lasma men. 4 men sentenced to death for killing chief. Terrorists injure soldiers in Abuja. Government shuts down school. Lagos declares 4 work-free days for PVC collection. Minimum wage, Kwara tertiary institutions workers sign agreement. FG gets 16 billion naira tax credit for Lagos-Badagry Expressway. 75% of houses in Nigeria are substandard, says Oshibaju. An FG shuts oil firm, alleges illegal offshore operations. Okay, which story are we?
Let me take an update on the story.
The last one.
The last month story. You know, Nima took the story yesterday of the man that died after Lasma had taken his car. So Lasma has responded. The spokesperson for Lasma has said that the way the story was reported is false, that what happened was that there was a traffic violation and the man and his son had pleaded with the Lasma officials to just let them get to that center first, and then when they're done with that, they'll come to the Lasma office to just try and finish up with Lasma, and that the Lasma officials were not there when the father slumped and died. They had nothing to do with them, and that they have video recordings to show the conversations between them and the Lasma officials. He also said that many traffic violators always come up with untruths like that in order to, cover up for what they have done. But that Lasma, of course, is saying that if we hear of any Lasma official that behaves in an unprofessional way, he should be reported, but they have video evidence to back what they're saying.
This is managing.
We'll see the video. I think we should insist on that video
coming out. But I believe that, the truth that they've had, which is that they pleaded with them, they insisted on going to the foremost radiology center, and they accompanied them there, and then moved off with their car. So the man slumped. Of course, that's the same story.
Well, as I said, we'll see the video, and then we'll take better ways to do it. Investigation is taken.
Major headline, NLC today starts their solidarity protest across the country, and I love the fact that the police have joined. They said they'll be deploying police officers along. They're not stopping the protest across, and they're going to be deploying police officers because, of course, they fear hoodlums might hijack the protest. They've also issued their warnings to the hoodlums that amongst the protests, they will not just have uniformed policemen, they will have ununiformed police officers, and major officers from their intelligence units will be in the crowd as well, picking off any hoodlum trying to take advantage or hijack this protest.
That's good, but on the other hand, also please train the policemen to be aware that these are people doing what they protesting rightfully. So
I love the stand of the police on this protest. Usually you hear no protest is illegal. That's not what they say.
Police officers have children that are on strike.
That's not the issue. That's not the reason. The reason is like their job to provide security.
To provide security.
It's not the sentiment. Yes, so that's their job to protect. But we also understand that they're there to protect us, not just for to come and harass citizens. Okay, I was going to take the picture story of the 3 passengers of the Kaduna-Abuja train that were released yesterday. Their names are Gladys Brumen, Oluwarotimi Ojo, Hassan Lawal, I think Pastor Ayodeji Oyewumi. One of them was released a week ahead, so there are 4 of them that were released within 1 week. But these 3 people that were released after 24 hours, when the video was released to us. The spokesperson who was representing Sheikh Gumi, a consultant to Islamic Cleric, that's really Tukra Mamar, the publisher of Kaduna-based Thursday Herald newspaper, was saying that he can categorically tell us that this release had nothing to do with federal government intervention. So it's possible that these people are negotiating individually. So it's based on how much you're able to pay and raise individually. So the families are putting money together to try to get out their loved ones. However, the federal government has also responded, saying that the they're securing the release of the train passengers, and their auction is a major focus for them.
Really?
And that the minister of Transportation, Sambo, saying that the government has not been sleeping from the inquiries he's made, that there are some things you do not know, you don't say in public. But I want you to know that, give us time that we're working on it. So
let's look at the December 20, something people that have so far been released. If you follow the trail, all of them sorted themselves out. So if government says we are on it, and it's almost how many days now? You are on it how? What is the result of your being on it? As high as 100 million was paid for one person.
I also watched his interview, the man in the blue, on BBC Hausa, and he was just talking about, they were asking him about their conditions there. He seemed, I mean, his response was almost like they treated them sort of well. That yes, they slept outside and on the floor, and that, but when it started to rain, they built sheds for them so that they could go in when it rained. So the families talked about the beating. He said the beating just seemed like they were trying to prove a point, but they were not beating throughout their stay, but that, yes, everybody has... And
the families of the rest of the victims are out and protesting. They actually set a barricade in front of the Ministry of Transportation yesterday, demanding that their children be released, or their family members.
I mean, their children...
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to still have a story in Punch.
Yes. So the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, was speaking at the event. It's called, it was a conference, a real estate conference in Abuja. I'm trying to get the name of the event, but it was represented at the event, and the conversation from his speech was that 75% of houses in Nigeria are substandard. He also mentioned the fact that of all the buildings, and this was a research done by PwC, so it's a factual research. We don't have enough houses for the people that need it. And even the houses that we have, 75% of them are not built to standard. Of course, the issues were raised that the reason the houses are not built to standard is because of access to funds. And he also mentioned the fact that people are having to debate between having good food or having access to accommodation, and feeding is more important. So people are struggling to put their money into how to eat as opposed to getting quality living. Then he of course mentioned how important it is for the dedication of the government to providing housing function, and he said it is through the Nigerian Mortgage Refinancing Company, which was established in 2015, and that is a company people don't know much about, which I believe every Nigerian should go and research into it. If you own a home, you can refinance, and there are opportunities in mortgage system that we can access, and this is a good move.
You can refinance your home.
Yes, you can.
Nice.
That's part of the new policy that was signed in 2015. Yes, now, so you can liquidate that money.
Yes,
keeping that money there.
Next is that place of the
Still in Punch.
Oh, sorry.
Moving on to Daily Sun.
I don't move.
Terrorist battle army in Abuja. ASU national blackout as NLC begins mass protest. President Kalu orders Hill Amusan. Placeholder alien to Electoral access INEC. Gunmen kidnap Catholic priest in Tamboa village. Terrorists free 4 Kaduna train abductees. No court disqualified me from senatorial contest, says Umahi. Budget cautions FG against indiscriminate borrowing. Edo confirms 8 cases of monkeypox. And 2023, I'm in presidential race to win, says Obi. Okay, story.
Since I started INEC already, so the resident electoral commissioner of INEC, the state resident electoral commissioner, Jibril Zarewa, was talking yesterday at a media forum that, you know, this term, placeholders, was a coinage of Nigerians. It is not something INEC recognizes by law, or is not something that is a strange thing to the Electoral Act. It says that the Act only provides that, you know, you can change your candidates or vice presidential candidate within a period of time, and that's all that the law provides for. But Nigerians now started this issue of placeholders, replacing placeholders. These are totally strange names and terms to the Electoral Act and to INEC as a body.
Okay, let me talk about monkeypox. So in Edo State, the government has confirmed that so far 8 people have tested positive for monkeypox. The Commissioner for Health says that because of this, the ministry is ramping up surveillance and other activities to curb the spread of the disease. But She also highlighted symptoms of monkeypox. She says include fever, headache, weakness of the body, sore throat, enlargement of the glands under the jaw and neck. And it comes with the appearance of rash on the face, palms, soles of feet, genitals, and other parts of the body. Just so that if you try and make sure you get yourself tested if you find yourself with any of these symptoms. She talked about how this virus is being transmitted from rodents, and food that's infected. And just the general information, let's just keep ourselves clean, follow the proper guidelines of hygiene, so forth and so forth.
Okay, still reacting to Atiku Abubakar's interview last week. Peter Obi was speaking yesterday because Atiku had mentioned that Peter Obi did not tell him he was leaving the PDP party, and that if Peter Obi is to win the presidential election, it would be a miracle. So Peter Obi responded in the interview yesterday saying that, yes, he agreed that he didn't tell Atiku because he knew that he didn't want anybody to talk him out of it. He didn't even tell his family members and loved ones. He just moved, and the moment he moved into Labour, 2 days after was after he now sent a message to Atiku to let him know his decision. And also, he said that his entire life is full of miracles. So if it's a miracle for him to be that his plan is to win and he's in the race to win, not to be anybody's running mate or to...
So let me take the story of... Drop my book.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
So the Budget, which is a civic tech organization, has said that the Nigerian government needs to discontinue indiscriminate borrowing. Now, the IMF had told Nigeria since last year that at a point in a short while, our entire revenue would not be enough to service our debts. But I remember our finance minister saying our debt to GDP ratio is good, we are good, we are good. But right now, over the course of the first half of this year, Nigeria has spent more money. Like, we don't even have the money. Every income we have has gone into servicing debt, not paying off debt, servicing debt. So January to April, the nation spent over 100%. 1.6 trillion is what we earned, and we were meant to spend 1.9 trillion servicing our debt, which is putting us very close to default zone. Yet, we are still borrowing money, and the budget is now saying that we should stop this borrowing because we are borrowing in ways that will not make us pay now, but will be giving us huge interest on these loans in the future. And the Nigeria needs to stop it and start looking within on how to resolve the financial crisis that we are in.
For those who are giving us the money, I'm sure for them to give us the money, they feel that they have the capacity.
No.
They have, I mean, for them to approve a loan, I'm just guessing. For them to approve a loan, they probably feel that we still have credits to... We
should remember Greece, so see what's happening to Sri Lanka.
Okay, what's paper? Moving on to Vanguard. Families of 41 victims protest ground transport ministry. Saipem Saga, My Whole Story by Dekumbi Ogunde. Varsity Union strike NLC to commence 3-day warning strike after protest. 3 soldiers injured as gunmen attack presidential guard troops. Why we attended Shetima's unveiling, says Clerics. And we talked about Amusa, we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay?
Okay, quickly, on the Vanguard, not on the front page, but within this paper, is the story of a stray bullet killing someone yesterday on enforcement of Okada ban at Second Ring. But this is the route I take to go home. And the police officers, I don't know why, are constantly standing by the road on the express. But yesterday, things went bad. According to the report, task force police officers came to enforce Okada ban and they wanted to arrest Okadas. Second Rainbow has become a hot spot because of this. Every time they shot and stray bullet went into the bus, killed a 20-year-old young man, minding his own business on his way to find his own living. The worst part of the story was that commuters now carry the body of that man and put in the middle of the road, causing traffic. The police officers fled the situation without trying to get the man to the hospitals. Other commuters injured in the stampede helped themselves to the hospital. If police officers were out to enforce, do they just leave when this happens? So this young man had his body on the road. Eyewitness, everybody, all of us that had to pass that route yesterday saw the body just like that.
Oh, gosh.
In the middle of the road, nobody did anything. And you know, you are the only ones who can get this body to the hospital, and the police, the hospital will take you serious. So they left that there, and they came, according to them, to enforce Okada ban. This is like the 10th time I've driven into that Okada ban enforcement and almost risked my life. I think something concrete must be done. Mr. Governor, please.
Right.
Ensure that when they want to go and enforce Okada ban in that area, somebody should query their process and how it's done.
Commissioner of Police for Lagos State.
Yes, they're constantly clashing with the Okada riders. I'm not on their side of the side of the Okada riders, but I'm on the side of innocent road users who are minding their business going home. We don't want to die on our way home.
Nigerian Tribune, let's find a story of not taking terrorist cause panic in Abuja. I think somebody's taking that story. Injured guards, brigade soldiers, FG shuts down school. Anybody take that story yet?
No.
Presidency has admitted Buhari's failure, says PDP. Policeman killed as gunmen attack police station in Ondo. NLC begins pro-ASU strike today, or protest today, actually. Lagos APC peace meeting disrupted and rescheduled. And Finance Minister, governors meet to deliberate on economy today.
So let me take this. So gunmen in the early hours of Monday at about 1 a.m. or said, stormed the police station Okuta Elerinla division in Akure, and when they stormed the station, the police, tried to fight them off. They said, I think there were about 2 policemen, so there was a gun duel, and during the fight, they said one other policeman had gone to help evacuate those who were jailed. So he was trying to take them away from the shooting. They said he finally rescued all of them, evacuated them from where they would have been hurt by maybe stray bullets. But unfortunately for him, he switched on his flashlight, and one of the hoodlums saw him and shot at him, and he died. His name is Inspector Temenu Boluwaji. I think this is a hero. He's a hero cop and should be celebrated, and I hope that his family is sort of given some form of compensation. So what he concentrated on was to make sure that those who were locked up were not in any way affected by the bullets back and forth with the hoodlums.
All right, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, the news Nigeria is talking about, the good news Nigerians are talking about. Today, our hot topic. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.